Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new around here. Welcome back to those of you who are seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm, and coaching paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. And we also do that for your listening pleasure. We got over 1,300 of these available for your listening pleasure. We can continue to add. If there's a topic you'd like to see covered, please feel free to reach out and make that happen. In any event, would love to be of assistance to you in any way that I can. Please feel free to reach out at PO Perception on Twitter and or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Either way, we'll get you in touch with me or a member of my team and ultimately bring something hopefully good out of that. So, this is a two-part series on depressed kids, signs your child, teenager, may be dealing with depression, and that's something that obviously I've worked with quite a bit, especially there's more pressure on, I think, this generation of teenagers than any previous known generation. At least that's my experience over the last 2+ decades of working in this type of work, 15 years as a professional, 5 years as an understudy. So what are some signs of that? Uh, Over technology dependence. So obviously the idea of social media, the idea of technology in general for young people is to get them to feel important. And so when a young person, and I actually watched a documentary on this the other day, when a young person is overly dependent on technology, they're creating a bit of a fantasy life. And so that ultimately hinders their ability to um, deal with any or all, real life technical problems, and then that leads to a potential of social isolation. Also leads to problems as it relates to identifying what changes need to happen for a person and the way in which things are resolved. Overdependence on technology also hinders the development of in-person communication skills, among other things. This will also lead to withdrawal from social interactive and from activities that young person previously enjoyed. So the level of withdrawal makes it harder to stay focused on accomplishment of both professional and scholastic endeavors. So what one begins to see is a overindulgence on the importance of technology and an undercompletion on work related, school related, and chore related tasks. This leads to oftentimes a lack of self care and a lack of ability to remain in control. This leads to a level of focus, which is usually diluted. So, short-term memory loss may occur. Long-term memory or retelling and retransmission of new stories can also be a challenge, and the level of energy that the person is experiencing may also be drastically negatively affected. So that level of energy ultimately leads to challenges as it relates to kind of moving forward in a healthy, smart, and intelligent way. This young person may actually begin to realize that there's a problem, but also not have the ambition to deal with it, to follow through an appointment. So, saying one needs help and actually getting the help they need can often be sort of at odds with each other, for lack of a better uh, concept there, in so much that a person begins to feel like, hey, this isn't going the way I planned, or this isn't going right for me. And so there's struggles as it relates to that overall level of stress or negativity. And then the promise that things are going to get better, the promise that things are going to get more focused, ultimately leads to kind of disappointment in oneself and then guilt for things left undone. People that are unhappy with the depressed teenager may become a major focus, and so the rumination of dissatisfaction that others may have becomes a centralized focus. This then leads to a lot of stressors, a lot of negativity, and ultimately a lot of, I guess I'd say, self disenfranchisement and or self struggle when that doesn't come together in the intended fashion. Obviously, there's always a million ways to get help around this type of thing. Building a team for your young person in your life is important to their overall recovery process. I'd love to be part of that team if that's possible. Please feel free to reach out at PO Perception or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Till then, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.